Let's come back to 24 question. From here, we'll be doing all the 5 marks questions, all 5 marks questions. 24, 25, and 26 are 5 marks questions. So in a 5 marks question, you'll have 5 different bits. So though you not like in those 5 bits, even if you don't try to attempt the remaining 3, you'll be getting 3 marks in that. Right. So in 5 marks 1, 2, I have 3 more questions. There's no place I've not written. I'll be writing in a few minutes. So in this question, what do they give us? Arrange the following in the order of property indicated. I've done such questions so many times. Order of increasing order of acidic strength, decreasing order of basic strength, increasing order of bond dissociation enthalpy. Everything I've done. Here I'm just writing the answer. Please go back to board questions, that is your P block elements. All the board questions are covered in this. They have already asked in many board questions. I have solved this. Here I am writing the answer only. Go back, watch the board questions of P block elements. Done. So here what do they ask me? Increasing order of bond dissociation enthalpy. Increasing order. The maximum one should be the end. The minimum one should be here. So according to this, iodine will be less than fluorine, less than bromine, less than chlorine. This is your order. Reason I've given in that P block element board paper. Done. Here if I have to speak the maximum one, if I need to write the maximum order at the end. Done. So minimum will be first. So H2O less H2S less H2Se less H2Te. So this is the order. For the first one, I'm not giving the reason here. I'm again mentioning. Please go back and watch the P block elements board papers. Right, very interesting question. This is the choice question of 24th. Right, I said no, I'm sorry. It is not the choice question. It is the 24th question, third part. Now in third part, B part, A part I've dealt with 3 questions, right? Now in B part you have 2 more questions. Let us read the question. Interesting. I'll give you one clue how to remember. Here they given us a colorless gas A with pungent odor. Okay, you would have done in your practicals also. Pungent odor. Ma'am, pungent means I'll immediately remember sulfur, but no. Next clue is highly soluble in water. Okay, water soluble salts we have done. I've not got the clue. Then its aqueous solution is weakly basic. Yes, I've got the clue now. Weakly basic. What is a weak base we have in chemistry? Yes, it is aqueous solution is weakly basic. That is ammonia, nothing but ammonia, isn't it? Yes, so the particular thing, gas A is ammonia. So I have to remember. Now with this clue, I've come to a conclusion. It is ammonia, weak base. Done. Now, as a weak base, it precipitates the hydroxides, okay, ammonium hydroxide forms done of many metals from their salt solution. Not a problem, don't get confused. I've already come to an answer. Gas A finds application in detection of metal ions. Okay, we have studied in coordination compounds where it forms a neutral ligand, isn't it? Okay, let's see. It gives a deep blue coloration with copper ions. Okay, no problem. That clue also I've got. That means I'm correct with the answer. Right, identify gas A. So now with this weakly basic concept, I've come to a conclusion. It is ammonia, 100%. Then identify gas A with copper ions and write the chemical reaction. Okay, I have identified gas A. First you will write gas A is ammonia. This is your answer. Now start using this ammonia here. Gas A with copper ions. So what should we do? I need to write the reaction copper. So first pick up that thing copper, aqueous. Ions they said Cu plus 2 aqueous plus I need to add that ammonia. They said when this mixes up with this particular thing. Okay, this is also aqueous. So double-sided arrow. Now they said when gas A finds application in detection of metal ions or it gives a deep blue coloration with copper ions, they said. So when these two combine, what will happen to this? It's going to form a complex in this way, Cu, right? NH3 coordinate complex. Which color is that? The color is blue. Yes, we very well know if I have to balance, suppose if I take here 4, this will become N copper plus. And what is the charge, overall charge? Plus 2. So this is a deep blue color complex. That's over. Now I've got one complex done. So what did they ask me now? There's still something left. I need to write the state aqueous. Then they said solution A, the solution A with zinc sulfate. I need to combine A, but solution they said zinc sulfate plus solution of this, nothing but ammonium hydroxide. Yes, so when these two combine, now you need to write the physical state. This is also aqueous solution, this is also aqueous solution, both are aqueous. What is the reaction I get? Double displacement reaction, zinc hydroxide and ammonium sulfate you get. So write down that, simple, directly you can write, you will get zinc hydroxide, the valency of zinc is 2 plus ammonium sulfate, ammonium NH4, SO4, done. Yes, so the valency of ammonia is 1, but the valency of sulfate is 2. Ammonia is 1, sulfate is 2, ammonium sulfate. So I get both the products done. So what is the important thing? Zinc hydroxide is solid and your ammonium sulfate which is formed is aqueous. That's simple, isn't it? How did I know? One keyword I took, weekly basic, then I started writing everything. For this gas, this is the reaction, this is the compound, this you need to mention the color, that is deep blue. Write it as deep blue. Deep blue, and here the second one I got this. Alright, now let's see this question. This is a choice question which is there given for your 24th question. Done. Let's see, we've already done one question. Now this is the next question. So here what did they give us? Okay, I'll start with the first one. Write the disproportionation reaction of that oxo acid. Okay, this is not then, it is that oxo acid of nitrogen in which nitrogen is +3 oxidation state. Okay, you have to write a reaction in which the nitrogen which is formed is +3 oxidation with nitrogen combination. So I felt this is the best reaction. We already know disproportionation, both oxidation and reduction occurs in the same reaction. Yes, so I felt this is the correct thing. I'll be writing that. I've already noted this. HNO2 forming, or it's getting converted into HNO3. Please, I'm writing it directly. I'll also show you. Then next one, this is water plus this is NO. Okay, done. If I have to balance this, I'll be taking 3 of this and 2 of this. Now this is the standard reaction, the easiest reaction to practice. Now in this particular thing, in this disproportionation reaction, if I have to calculate, nitrogen should be +3 oxidation state, they said. So the nitrogen here, yes, +3 oxidation state. So this is the right reaction which I've written. Next, write the formula of the neutral molecule which is isoelectronic with ClO minus. So and isoelectronic species also we have studied. The answer would be ClF. This is the isoelectronic species having the same number of electrons. Done. Next one, draw the structure shape of H2S2O7. So as soon as structure is given to you, you need to write the name first. Okay, so H2S2O7 is what? Nothing but oleum, isn't it? Or pyrosulfuric acid. So this is oleum. Right, stuff formula. Sulfur are 2, so 1 sulfur here, 2 sulfurs here. Oxygens are 7. Distribute that oxygens. First try to make it here, 1 oxygen here, done. 2 are over. After that you divide it equally according to the geometry. 2, 3. Okay, and now I'm left with 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5th. Hydrogen also is there. 6th, 7th. H2. That's it. It is pyrosulfuric acid. Done. HNO3 forms an oxide. This question forms an oxide of nitrogen on reaction with P4. Okay, here I've taught you reactions of phosphorus. Go through that. Write the formula of the stable molecule formed when its oxide undergoes dimerization. Okay, nothing. Don't get confused. Nitrogen itself, it is undergoing reaction with phosphorus. Now the oxide of it undergoes dimerization. Normally nitrogen and oxygen, if I have to take NO, right, that's if it is dimerizing. Now if I have to write, it is N2O4, right? Basically NO2 is nitrogen dioxide, isn't it? Let me write that. NO2, nitrogen and oxygen, it forms NO2. So this becomes double N2, this becomes double O4. So this is your answer, N2O4. Next, what they ask me, they've asked bleaching action of chlorine. So I've already told you bleaching action. What is the reaction? Is permanent, justified. That means because of the presence or release of nascent oxygen, it's showing that bleaching properties. They want you to write the reaction. Let us write the reaction. So chlorine plus water, what do you get? You're going to get HCl plus nascent oxygen. So 2, if it is balanced, no, 2 I should not write because only 1 oxygen is here, right? So this is your this. Now bleaching action is permanent because of the release of, you will write bleaching action is permanent because of the release of nascent oxygen. Right, let us come back and see this 25th question. Now in 25th question you have organic chemistry. 5 marks question. Be very careful here. I did organic chemistry in 3 days. All the reactions are covered in that. Let's see this. So here, write the products of the following reactions have given us. Nothing to do. Simple. Whenever you see like this cyclohexanone and you're given hydroxylamine, I did aldehydic reactions, isn't it? Simple as that. You're just supposed to remove water molecule and join these two. So join, double bond is still there, NOH, that's it. You write NOH. Done? Right. Now, next reaction. What is this reaction? Very important reaction. You're treating a benzaldehyde, 2 moles of benzaldehyde, or you're treating 2 moles of this one ketones or something. Right. You should be careful. If it is normal aldehyde, acetaldehyde or ketones, then it will be aldol condensation reaction. You can watch aldol condensation in video number 26 in aldehyde chapter. But now, here, this is not aldol condensation. You need to be very careful because this doesn't have alpha hydrogen, correct? So when this doesn't have alpha hydrogen, the reaction which you are going to go and watch is, that is your Cannizaro's reaction. So watch this Cannizzaro reaction. The Cannizzaro reaction is shown by aldehydes which do not have alpha hydrogens. Done. So there you will get 1 alcohol and 1 sodium salt of this benzoic acid. Done. Let's see that. Next, acetic acid Cl. Acetic acid treated in the presence of chlorine and phosphorus. So what is that? Alpha. This is alpha halo acid. The hydrogen just adjacent to carbon. So what will happen? 1 chlorine will replace this hydrogen. So you get a product called Cl. This is CH2COOH. Done? Yes. So that is a compound. Now, next one. Give the simple chemical test to distinguish between benzaldehyde and benzoic acid, propanol and propanone. I already did this distinguishing test earlier, so please watch that. You will clearly have an understanding, right? Like I've given distinguishing test. I have done all the combinations of distinguishing test. You can watch that video. You will have an understanding what all the combinations are discussed. So watch that video for this answer. Right, let us see this question. This says account for the following. Done. So 25th question, this is a choice question again. Now the aldehyde chapter, they've discussed here, complete aldehyde chapter, they've given under 5 questions. Let's see this. What do they give? Account for the following. Acetaldehyde is more reactive than CH3COCH3. Okay, that is your acetone towards HCN, most important thing. So HCN, whenever I speak about HCN or addition of this thing, you have to see here what happened. Here this is CH3, this carbon, oxygen, 1 hydrogen. There's a smaller atom there. But here what happened? Your bulky methyl groups present around CO. So what is the factor which is acting there? Here in this case, but this is more reactive, but this is less reactive. That means that is why, because of first reason, steric factor. The steric factor is hindering that particular HCN addition to ketone. Not that answer. Next one, you can also write as electronic factor, which I already explained what is electronic factor. Because of these two, this is more reactive, having a smaller hydrogen atom. 2-fluorobutanoic acid is stronger acid than 3-fluorobutanoic acid. Let us write 1, 2, 3, 4. Butanoic acid 1, 2. This is fluoro. In the second one, let us write the 3-fluorobutanoic acid 1, 2, 3 COOH. 3-fluorobutanoic acid. Now they are asking us, this is stronger acid than this. Why? First you have to speak in terms of inductive effect, right? Now what will happen when as the distance from the acid group increases, what will happen to the inductive effect? Inductive effect automatically decreases. Done? First important keyword which you have to write is, write like this. Inductive effect decreases as distance increases. This is your answer concept. Now how should I say? Now this is one reason. Next one, you can also see that the conjugate base of this particular thing right? That is more of which one. Oh, I'm talking about 2-fluoroacetic acid, right? The conjugate base of 2-fluoroacetic acid, if I have to see, this is more stable than this reason also I've already told you. I'm writing first reason, this you write conjugate base of 2-fluoroacetic acid is stable. That's it. You write these two reasons and finish off your answer. This is how you're going to write the answer. So write next question, right? Chemical reaction, Itard reaction I already did. Rosenman reduction also I did. So watch the video for that. Next one. Give mechanisms of cyanohydrin. Okay, let me come back and erase everything and give you the mechanism how to add cyanohydrin. Right, let us solve the last question of this. What do they give us? Give the mechanism of cyanohydrin formation when carbonyl compound reacts with HCN in the presence of alkali. So they said there is a carbonyl compound, it's reacting with HCN in the presence of alkali. So you need to start your mechanism like this. First take cyanohydrin, then they said alkali, so a base. That is OH minus. Then immediately, this being a nucleophile, it breaks up, forms water, this and this, and you're left with cyano, CN minus, that acts as a nucleophile. Now you're going to take a carbonyl compound, let it be aldehydes or ketones. Now we very well know the shift of bond, this becomes negative, partially negative, this becomes partially positive. Now this is electron rich, right? So this will attack this oxygen. See here, this is broken up, fine. This, when this becomes, this is lost to oxygen, this attains a partial positive charge, then this Cn minus donates its electrons and forms a compound, and then further in the presence of H plus, this becomes cyanohydrin, and this is the mechanism for the formation of cyanohydrin. Let's come back and finish off the last question of 2018 sample paper. Right, let us see this 26th question. Here they've given you solid state chapter where they've given you mentioned all the concepts together are covered. Let's see this. What do they give you? Here they've given the alignment. This is the last topic of your solid state, that is magnetism, magnetic behavior, magnetic properties. So what do they give us? They've given you domains here. They're asking us to identify the type of magnetism. So when I see this, the type of magnetism is ferromagnetism. Right, now they are asking one more question related to this. After giving the domains, they are asking you what is this. Now important, no, this is not ferry, right? They said what will happen when you heat these substances. So ferrimagnetism, the attractive power, attractive nature is lost. What do you do, right? Ferrimagnetism loses its property or loses its magnetic property and gets converted to, or it forms paramagnetic substances. That's it. Simple, isn't it? So you need to remember the domains which are there in the textbook. Very, very important. That. Next one. If the radius of octahedral void is R and radius of atom in close packing is capital R. I did this video in a solid state chapter where I explained you the relation between small r and capital R. I've also drawn the octahedral void. I've shown you this concept. When 4 atoms are placed here, this atom also I explained, we have joined all together. We have calculated for this one. The answer, you go to the solid state playlist, watch under octahedral void this concept. Very important concept in solid state. The answer where you'll get it as 0.414. You need to write this answer only for 1 mark, but concept you please go and watch that thing. So now next important thing, they've asked tungsten crystallizes in BCC structure. Okay, if the edge length of the unit cell is this one, so they've given edge length. Let us write the given data. So given data is A is equal to 316.5 picometer. What is the question? What should I find out? I need to find the radius. What is the radius? Okay, R I need to find. So whenever BCC is given, there is a direct formula for this, isn't it? Radius is equal to root 3 by 4A. This is the formula which you have already learned. Directly substitute that. R is equal to root 3 by 4 into 316.5, which you get an answer of 136.88 picometer. That's it. Most important thing, don't forget to write the units. Very important concept to be remembered because that carries half mark. So whenever you're seeing the weightage of marks, first thing see here, for ferry, this one you will get 1 mark. After that, For this answer, again 1 mark for this particular thing. The leftover 1 mark is this formula which you are writing. After that, the substitution part, this formula carries 1 mark, yes, and after that the substitution part also is carrying half mark, and the answer carries half mark. Right, let's come back to the last question of 2018 sample paper. With this, all the complete analysis of all the chapters is done. Let us read the question. So in 26th question, last part, what did they give us? This is again a 5 marks question. 1, 2 and 3. The last part is divided, given the maximum weightage because it is a numerical. That identify the type of defect shown in the figure. What type of substance does substances show this defect? Now if I have to see this defect, what are you observing? Basically in the lattice site, anion, cation, anion, cation. Okay, cation is missing, then again anion, cation, like that. When I move around here, again there is cation missing. Just see here, there is anion missing, again there is cation missing. So what are you observing? There is an equal loss of cation and anion. Done. First you going to write your observation. Equal loss of cation and anion. When there is equal loss of cation and anion, what is the type of defect observed? Schottky defect. So defect observed is Schottky defect. Right. Right, finish. Now this asked us which type of substances show this defect. The substances which have both the size of the cation and anion, both should be of similar size, then only they will show this defect. Okay, later shown by substances having similar cation and anion. That's it. Over. So you will be writing that answer and finish off this thing. Basically cation is smaller, but here only those which have cation anion similar only will show this defect. Done. Next question. A metal crystallizes in a body centered cubic crystal BCC. If A is the edge length of its unit cell, R is the radius of the sphere, what is the relation between R and A? So BCC they said. Okay, already we have done numerical, so just they want you to write the formula. So they asked us between R is equal to, for BCC formula is root 3 by 4a. That's it. So that is the relation they've asked. So root 3 by 4a, the relation between R and A. Done. Let us see this question. And an element of this particular molecular mass is 63 gram per mole. Okay, molecular mass is given to me. Let us write that data. Given data is molecular mass is 63 gram per mole. Then it forms CCP, cubic unit lattice packing, with edge length A is equal to 360.8 picometer. If the density, that is rho, is equal to 8.92 gram per centimeter cube, what is the nature of cubic unit cell? I need to find the nature, nothing but Z. If I calculate the number of atoms, then I can automatically say what is the nature. Let's come back with the formula. Rho is equal to Z into M by, we have already learned this, A cube into Na. Correct. Now substitute. I need to find Z. So density how much is given? 8.92. This Z I need to find. Molecular mass is already given, 63 gram per mole. A cube, edge length is given, that is 360.8 whole cube into Avogadro number 6.023 10 raised to the power 3. That's it. When you solve this Z, you get an answer of 4, right? When you get an answer of 4, what is the nature of atom? The number of atoms 4 are present in which one? FCC lattice. So you can write Z is equal to 4, hence the type of lattice, because they've asked what is the nature? Nature is equal to, nature is FCC. This is what you are going to write. Simple, isn't it? So with this, we have completed the 2018 sample paper. Let's come back and do one video. I'll tell you how have I done, or how have I covered all the months from September. Let me explain you my journey in this channel in my next video.